Ruben Amorim, it's time to go, mate. It's time to go. You are a fraud. You are a fraud. Man sat here and I watched this thing today, bro. And we can get onto the game. We can get onto the game. We can get onto the fact that we played against one of the most physical teams in the league and we started with a double pivot of Ugarte and Christian Eriksen. Xerxes got injured. We can talk about that. We can talk about the fact that he decided this would be the perfect game to play Harry Amas, who you played all right. Do you know what I mean? And start Victor Lindelof, who we know is not one of our most physical centre-backs. Against the most physical team, we play one of our most timid centre-backs in the middle. Do you know what I mean? There's loads of things that we can question, but above all, someone said to me, this brother's got a 30% win rate in the Premier League, bro. Like, this season's been crazy because you almost forget that Ten Hag started the season as Man United manager because Amorim's been here for so long that it feels like he's had the whole season and he hasn't. The brother's got 6 wins in the Premier League, bro. 21 Premier League games under Ruben Amorim. 6 wins, yeah. The wins were against Fulham, Everton under Sean Dyche, who now have David Moyes as a manager and are above us now, and have won more games than us since David Moyes has come in. And by the way, David Moyes doesn't have his own players. But man are telling me that Ruben Amorim should have his own players because he's special. He's the only manager in the history of football, yeah, that only gets judged when they have their own players. Usually managers get judged on performances and results. But not this manager. This manager's judged on the fact that he hasn't got his own players. Man City were in the middle of a slump here. We beat Man City. And then that means nothing now because Man City are back in the top 4 now. And guess who the other 3 teams are that he beat? The 3 teams that are already relegated, bro. This is the record of Ruben Amorim, the guy that Cristiano was calling the poet, bro. Do you know what I mean? The reason why he must call him the poet is because he's got a way of putting words together that makes them sound more impressive than they actually are. Because all a poem is just loads of fucking words put together. That's all they are. Do you know what I'm saying? That's all they are. Just loads of words that in isolation in the dictionary don't really mean much, but you put them together in a certain way and it's somehow impressive. This guy's a fucking scam artist. That's what he is, brother. Do you know what I mean? He's 419 formation because that's what the formation is. He's a fraud. 419. Ruben Scamarim, bro. Haramarim, blood. You absolute fraud. This brother's come into this team, yeah, and he's actually brainwashed this fan base into thinking that he is some fucking astronaut or something. This brother thinks we're doing astrophysics or something. It's football, you know. This brother's playing wide centre-backs and this player dropping in and wing-backs and 2 10s and this outlet and that outlet. And the way I see football, bruh, the way I see football, yeah, you would never walk the streets again. You deserve to be thrown under the jail, you absolute criminal. And then man's in there with his flipping jack-ups, bro. Do you know what I mean? Man's wearing his son's trousers, bro. Every single flipping week, bro. Crouching down, yeah, on the side of the pitch. Trying to make it look like there's actually anything going through his flipping head, bro. There's nothing going through your head. You're a flipping con artist, bro. I don't know how you made it this far. Man are going to tell me what you done at Sporting. Brother, what you done at Sporting weren't even that flipping impressive. You know what it is, yeah? Man are going on like what he done at Sporting was like this brother done what flipping even Chris Wilder done at flipping Sheffield United when he came up to the Premier League, yeah, from the Championship and had these man challenging for Europe. This brother took over a team that averaged 3rd place in the Portuguese league and won them the title. So what, bruv? Do you know what I'm saying? It's always been a 2-horse race in that league anyway, bro. But the way these man talk about it, they man talk about it like these man were a relegation team. This guy's a bloody fraud, mate. And not only is he a fraud, yeah, but the fact that he had also the academy that he had, it just so happens that he got lucky, innit? Because that's what it was luck, bro. Because what this guy's doing right now, yeah, you know they say our success leaves clues, blood. I can't see one. I can't see a fucking clue, mate. If the football was decent, yeah, then I'll be like, you know what? The football's decent, it's just a lack of quality from the players. If the team selections were decent and correct and there was a method to the madness, I could say, you know what, he's picking the right teams, but we're getting unlucky, we're not getting the results. The football is absolute dross. It's the worst football I've ever seen. And then on top of that, he's picking the wrong flipping players. All the worst players seem to be his favourites. All of them. And then after the game, this guy's talking in riddles. He's an absolute scam artist, bro. And this brother's flipping, the guys that are supporting him, his backroom staff, are fucking kids, mate. One brother had his 30th bloody birthday party at Manchester United. 30 years old, bro. Bruv, what are you doing, mate? The whole thing is a disgrace, man. Do you know what I mean? If Ineos don't sack this guy at the end of the season, bro, that's another thing to add to the long list of things, yeah, that man are side-eyeing them over. Because the funny thing about this is you get these dumb Man United fans, yeah, they're saying they don't like the ownership. They don't trust the ownership, but you trust the guy that they brought in. Make it make sense. How come it's okay to question Ineos, yeah, but you can't question their appointment? Shit don't make no sense. If you trust Amorim, that means you trust the guys that brought him in. You have to. You can't not trust the guys that brought him in, but trust that they made the right decision with him. That shit just doesn't hold up. He should be questioned. That record ain't good enough for no one because you, man, were onto Ralph Rangnick. Man, what was man calling him? Oh, sport directive and that. Sport directive. Oh, yeah, he's not a real manager and that. There's no way Ralph would have done this with us, bro. This record is fucking... This is worse than Ralph's. His win percentage. And Ralph was here for 5 minutes. Like, what are we talking about? Ruud van Nistelrooy done already relegated Leicester and he would have done a better job than what this guy is doing. This guy is picking a system and a style of play irrespective of the players he's got available to him. And then you're blaming the players for not being able to play this fucking football that no one plays. This guy's the only manager in world football that plays this stupid fucking system. And then it's okay because this is the way I see football, blood. You're the only person that sees football like that. No one's playing football this way. No one's winning this way. It's not just the three at the back. I've seen the three at the back work for Fulham. I've seen it work for Crystal Palace. I'm seeing it work for Inter Milan. I'm seeing it work. But his interpretation of this three at the back ain't working nowhere. It's not winning no one nothing. What are we doing right now? This guy's a flipping bum. We lost 4-1 today. It wasn't really a 4-1 game. There was loads of little mistakes or little nuances, yeah. It could have not been that way, but I don't care. Because ultimately, it stems down to the manager, bro. First goal, Ugarte gave the ball away. But who picked Ugarte in the first place? And also, who picked Ugarte in this system? In this Amorim system, my biggest criticism of this Amorim system is the space between players. When you look at the way the team build out from the back, yeah, the centre-back is here. The two right and left centre-back go all the way out like full-backs. So now, the gap between the centre-back, the left full-back, the right full-back is massive. And then the gap between the centre-back and the midfielders are massive. When you've got someone like Ugarte that's not good on the ball, yeah, and he's on an island every time he receives the ball because there's no one close to him, bad things happen. And that's exactly what happened for the first goal. He receives the ball and there's no one close to him to pass. As soon as Ugarte has to play a pass over 5 yards, bad things happen. And it happened. And it happened. The goal where Mazraoui trips over, again, Ugarte forces the ball to Mazraoui under pressure. Mazraoui slips. I've said a million times, every time Ugarte gets the ball, it's like a grenade, bro. He does it to Casemiro as well. He passes man the ball when they're not ready for the ball, bro. He just forces passes into people because he's not competent on the ball. Again, the manager's playing him there. Why are you playing this Ugarte guy, bruv? Whenever we need to play football, he's not the guy. Every time we play and he takes Ugarte off, we play better, bro. Every single time. So it still comes down to selection. Picking our most timid centre-back in Lindelof, yeah, even with that goal. Mazraoui slips over, yeah. Lindelof, yeah, pretending like he was, bruv, at least pretend like you're going to try and make an attempt to win the ball, my brother. Just backing off. Can't put in a fucking challenge. We're playing against Newcastle, one of the most physical teams in the league, yeah? Pick physical players. This manager's a criminal, bro. A man are going to turn around and make a million excuses for Ruben Amorim because they fancy him, bro. That's the only reason why, bro. Because all you man that wanted, that was saying, oh, nah, Bun Ashworth, he's going to bring in Southgate, Brexit, Ineos, Brexit, football, all of this. If Gareth Southgate had won 6 games from 21, you man would have been calling for his head, yeah, after he lost the first 2. But here you are, you're going to sit here and make excuses for this manager because you fancy him, because he speaks well, bro. The reason why a man speaking well impresses a lot of these Man United fans is because most of these man, yeah, don't even have 2 GCSEs to bang together, mate. That's why. Bunch of airheads. Since when does someone speaking well mean anything? That should be the bog standard. Like, education's not free in this country, bro. So what? A man can speak. So fucking what? How you impressed by the fact that someone can string some sentences together? What does that even mean, bro? What does that mean? Guys that speak well, yeah, have been bending you over for decades, mate. It's called the government. And all them man went private school and you man are getting bent over by them. And you man are getting twanged by fucking Ruben Amorim. He's a criminal. This brother is playing fullbacks at wingback. Fullbacks at centre-back. Fullbacks at wing-back. 10s in the 8. 8s in the 10. Strikers in the 10. Everyone's out of position and you wonder why we're losing games. But Rants is the players. Why don't you just play the players in the position that they were brought to play in? Then we might just win games. Even without a flipping coach. That's what Rude did. Man are saying, oh, but Rants, some of these players ain't good enough. Multiple things can be true. We can still get rid of these players and get rid of this manager as well. I don't even want to talk about the game no more. I don't even want to talk about the game. Get this manager out of here, mate. Xerxes out now, probably for the season. Pulled up with a hamstring. That's minimum 4 weeks. In 4 weeks' time, we're probably not still going to be in the Europa League, so the season's done. No point rushing Ahmad back. Season's done. Get this manager out of here. I don't want to hear it. If you're defending this right now, you're part of the problem, mate. There's no excuse. Because if his name wasn't fucking Ruben Amorim, yeah, do you know what I'm saying? And it was Robert Adams or something like that, you pussyos would want him out. You would. But you man fancy him, bro. This guy should be fucking picking oranges in Portugal, mate. He's a fucking fraud. Fresh orange juice for everyone. How the hell is this guy managing Manchester United? That's what I want to know. See Omar Barada as well, bro. Listen, I gave you the benefit of the doubt because you came from Manchester City, yeah, but you've never done this job before, brother. And you've chosen Ruben Amorim. So that's your first strike. That might even be your second. You might have to get 2 strikes for that, bro. I can't lie. If Ruben gets sacked, they probably should sack Omar Barada as well, bro. It might seem a bit extreme, but you know what? Like, I feel like the manager just getting sacked alone isn't enough. I feel like heads need to roll for this. Bro. Because this is unacceptable, bro. Like, how could you have got it so fucking wrong, bro? Like, we're football fans. When we don't have access to all the data and all these other things, bro. Do you know what I mean? We don't have access to these things. The brother at Liverpool looked at Ruben and said, nah, went and got Arnie Slot. Fair enough. Looking like an absolute masterstroke. Why didn't we go get him in the first place before he went back? Before he went back to Liverpool? Why didn't we go get him back? Why didn't we go get him? The Edwards brother. And now we've got Ruben Amorim and his fucking kindergarten stuff. We need to get rid of them, man. And the brother that hired him, we probably need to get rid of as well, bro. Sounds extreme, but right, bro, I'm in an extreme kind of mood right now after watching that shit. Brother, get rid of all of these, man, bro. Get rid of all of them.